No, no. There's no poor girl about it. You don't think a girl can be mischievous? You think they're all angels, dude? Really? No. They're thieves, sexual. They're everything that you can think of. They happen to be human. Real flesh and bone, dude. Capable of doing some very atrocious things. And no, there wasn't 2, 3, 4 encounters with her. There's no such thing in the record. So, again, you're making it up. You're lying. Why do you have to lie, Bobby? Yeah, keep digging a hole, Bobby, because you keep lying. That's not what the record says. And you don't have the nerve in order to come in here and actually say those things. You just
Transcription: Statement of Rex A. Fredrickson, DOB 12-162, page 1. Date 6/1/01. Misspelled word: case 01-1800. I met redacted 4 or 5 weeks ago. She found out that I lived near and she began coming to my house before and after work. To get in order of occurrence, I invited her to walk my dogs for promotional effort, having painted me dog blue to attract people's attention. This is the first instance of physical contact. We exchanged back rubs. As time progressed, we became less aware of boundaries. On or about 5/28/01, she came to my house. We gathered in my bedroom to talk and watch TV. I had discussed working for Sunbird as a salesperson prior to this and laid on the bed with notebook to explain what may be asked of salespeople and began cuddling. During this time she placed her hand in my pants and began rubbing me. She did this till I came. I didn't force her to do this. She laid across me face up and I was face up during this time. She left shortly after this and came back that evening. On or about 5:30:01, she came over again, and after helping or following me through my chores, we went to my bedroom to talk about her quitting her job. She backed me to the bed and with no room gave me no choice but to pull myself up and lay down. She laid on top of me to continue to cuddle. I spoke of dangers we could have at my expense. Statement of redacted. Date 5/31/01. Case 01-1800. I met Rex Warfield on 4/23/01 when I met him randomly at Steamer's Hot Dogs. Redacted. He introduced himself to me by saying, quote, "Hi, would you marry me?" unquote. Over the next couple of weeks we talked at Steamer's. He told me about his business, quote, Sunbird Entertainment, unquote, and invited me over to his house to learn about his business website. On redacted, I told him that it was my 16th birthday. On Monday, 5/28/01, I went to his house, 428 Dalhart, for the first time. I was there from about 1:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. During that, we talked about his business and himself. He told me his name was Rex Warfield and that he was 40 years old. On Tuesday, 5/29/01, I went to his house again. There were some others there, so we went into his room to talk about his business without being distracted by their noise. At some point during that time, he also asked me if I was a virgin. I was still a virgin, but did not want him to know because it was none of his business, so I did not answer. After talking for about 20-30 minutes, he started playing with my pants belt buckle and undid my pants button. I asked him what he was doing and pushed him away. I left the house right away after this. On Wednesday, 5/30/01, I went to his house again at about 2 p.m. There were other people there, and we talked until about 5:30. He and I then went into his room to talk alone. After about 20 minutes, he started kissing me on the mouth and neck and touching my breasts and buttocks. I did not want him to do this and became very scared and, quote, blocked it out, unquote. I wanted to say, quote, no, unquote, but was afraid that if I said, quote, no, unquote, it would happen anyway and be worse. I remember having unprotected vaginal intercourse one time. After the sex, he looked into my genital area and said, quote, oh good, I didn't tear anything, unquote, and, quote, well, at least now my rage is over, unquote.
And no, there wasn't 2, 3, 4 encounters with her. There's no such thing in the record. So, again, you're making it up, you're lying. Why do you have to lie, Bobby?